We are the Kietis. Personally, I'm Christopher Kieti Kimilo.
I'm Terry Christopher.
So we call ourselves the Kietis.
It has been amazing, by the way, to see that. It has been one of the most amazing journey. And you know, one thing that we've realized is that marriage is like a garden of flowers. We have the good ones, we have the sweet ones, zinanukia vizuri, and tukona zile funny pia, but all of them, they just gather to make that garden very beautiful and admirable.
Yeah, so we met in our friend's wedding. I was a groomsman, she was a bride, and so yeah, she was a bridesmaid. And yeah, when we met there, we were able to catch up that day and knew each other. And then from there, I had to take her number from the WhatsApp group. Then we continually communicated. But in that day, after the wedding, we went for photo shoot. It's when I asked her to take a selfie photo. And then from there, I knew it is a landmark. I knew she would look for me for that photo.
No.
I don't know if it was my assumption or it is all ladies, but I knew there's somebody she will remember.
But I didn't, right? I did not. So yeah, we met, that was 2020 in December. It was in Machakos County. So we met, alinichosha. Mara nishikie maji, mara nilete pelekea yule. There is a friend of him, alikuwa amekuja na yeye. So like pelekea yule rafiki yangu keki. Nimempelekea, nimekuja. Akakaribia, akakaa karibu na mimi. Time ya reception ya tukikula. So ananipea maji nimshikie, mara chakula, niko like, hey dude, so unanichosha. Yeah, but it happened so fast, and it was that tukamaliza, tukaenda shoot. After shoot, ako like, lazima tupige picha na wewe. Mungu naye ni nani? Hiyo picha ya kwanza juu ikakuja ikachoma. And we are not even able to, hata sasa tukiangalia tunakuanga like, hata uwezi kujua vizuri kama ni sisi, but it is amazing. So that's how I think amesema alikuwa anafikiria nitamuitisha hiyo picha, but too bad that I didn't ask for it.
Yeah, it happened that she never asked for that photo, but it became our best photo for that time. And to me, like, God, do not pass me by in this way. And I thank God because I knew there's something that might happen, and really it happened that day. We met and we knew each other, and then we started from there. Yeah, of course, when I took her number, we started to chat. I had to give her a call. We communicated with each other, and like I was asking her, you came from the side of the bride, and then I told her I came from the side of the groom. And from there, we were able to communicate, we were able to chat. We were able to know each other. The chats went on, increasing, the communication went on, increasing. We could talk and talk and talk. And then we reached a time that now we can meet and talk.
Alikuwa ananipigia simu nikiwa kazi, niko like, sasa huyu anasema aje. I remember the wedding was on December. So hapo hivyo first, I think he texted me and he told me, there is something I want to talk to you about. So in my mind nikajua, sio jamaa anataka kunikatia. So I didn't, nikamuhepa. And from then, nikiwa na text zake, niko like, no, I hesitated to text him back. For a while, until it happened the time I was going back to school. Then I posted, I was studying in Western. So I posted back to the, was it back to the roots? Yeah. So he was like, hey, why have you gone and even if not passed by to say hi? Niko like, hi? Okay, in my mind, niko like, ngoja, mi sikujui bado. Because we were still not that close. Nile, hi, what are you doing? And hatukuwa tumeongea sana. So I was like, eh. So from then, it was in Feb there. That's when at least tulianza kuongea kidogo tu. Ile yenye, unaona, hapa hivi ni kama kuna, there is a hope of something. But I didn't show any interest. In my mind, I was like, no, I'm not ready yet to get into a relationship. Yeah, so I went back to school. That is until, it was in April. Yeah, so in April, hapo hivyo, I was doing prayers. At that time, I was having some, I had trusted God for something. So there is that prayer item, unaambia Mungu, hii naye, hebu nijibu. Yeah, so I was praying about a partner, life partner, not just anyone to date or else a partial relationship. But I just wanted mtu mwenye tukianza kudate sahi tunaenda direct to marriage. So that's how it happened. And sasa in fact after I was praying, it happened that night yenye nilikuwa nafungua because I was praying and fasting. That night yenye I was opening the prayer and fasting, I didn't sleep and was like, I was very much distracted until morning. So I fall asleep around 3 a.m. So by then, ndo nikalala kidogo. Kulala before, now that after nime fall asleep, I hear a voice and I'm like, Chris, niko like, uyo ni nani? Nile, mtu bado haja kuingia kwa akili, so hata ukumbuki who is that. So nikalala, and when I heard that voice, I told God, because this is what I've been trusting you for. If this is your will, show me a sign of it. So very early in the morning, the man calls.
The sign?
Hey,
the sign
you were like, Goja, why have you called me this morning? We really talk on calls. We really, like, he has never called me that early morning. And what he says is like, I was calling to know how you are, to check up on you. That was crazy. I cried and I was like, God, why did I even, mbona nilikujaribu? But that's how it happened. Sasa, nikapata conviction that this is the right person. And now, at least nikaanza open up my heart, kumuongelesha. Just that talking, because before I was like, I don't want even to talk. I avoided him for the good time. So tukakaa now talking, at least tukaanza kupata breakthrough ya kuongea, kaanza kuona hivi msichana ameanza kuniongelesha. He used to update me on his daily issues. Nimeenda kufanya hivi, nimetoka kazi, nimefika kwa nyumba, napika and so forth. So we talked until in May I was going home. Then nikirudi was like, so we pass by and say hi to me. So the moment I passed by, tukakutana, and he was like, will you be my girlfriend? So I had nothing to think about because I had already gotten a confirmation, but sikuwa nimemwambia eti unajua Mungu, no. I just knew that in my mind, okay, it was confirmed.
I remember well, I took her from Nairobi town to where I stay at Mlolongo, and then in my mind was like, the first thing when we get into the house, I will ask her, will you marry me? And so, because we had already talked, tuko tumeongea like nishatuma ishara zote. Nishatuma ishara zote. So hapa ni atoe conclusion yake. So the first thing it was that time for COVID.
Yeah, it was COVID 2021.
Yeah? So akaniambia that's all I wanted, but akaniambia kwanza niweke maji, ninawe nioshe mikono. And like sikuwa nataka ianze hivyo, nilikuwa nataka tu na hii swali. So the answer she gave was absolutely. Like, there's nothing more than that you have asked me. So kutoka hapo nikamwag, and like I felt now, yes, nimepata chenye nilikuwa nataka. And then I remember it was 1st of May. I can never forget that day. It was an holiday.
For hours, it was like a long distance relationship, because I remember, I think we met in that 2021, we met twice, because I was studying in Kakamega, he was in Nairobi, and for me the only time I could come, it's only on holiday, so I come once, narudi, na tunapatana stage. Yeah, tunapatana stage nikienda, because I didn't want to entertain anything. So before we started dating, we sat down and tukasema, this is what we are going to do. We will set boundaries and everything. So tulikuwa tunajua kuna mahali hatuwezi pita. Tulikuwa tunajua there is somewhere yenye hatuwezi fika. So it was that very, very, very good relationship I did that I enjoyed, because he never burdened me with anything. Tikushinda kunifuatilia, no. It was very awesome, but with back and forth, which they are very normal. Yeah, so we dated from now May hadi January 2022, right? 2022 hapo hivyo ndo tukakuja. So nilikuwa, I was in a mission by then, I remember, in Eldoret. So he texted me and he was like, nimekuwa home and I have talked to my parents that I have told them that I'm going to get married this year. Hey, niko like, God, sinamaliza tu shule hii mwaka. Hapana. Alafu, while I was in the mission ground, I heard something from the Lord and I was like, no, this is not the year that we are supposed to get married. So now I'm telling him, hapana, hatutaoana hii mwaka. Yeye hata hajaniuliza kwa nini. Jamaa akanyamaza. Akanyamaza, alinyamaza for around 2 weeks. After 2 weeks is now anakuja kuniuliza, "Baby, mbona ulisema hatuoane this year?" Sasa vile nilimwambia, aliniambia, "Wewe fanya vile unataka." Kajua, oh, sawa. So after 2 weeks ndo anakuja kuniuliza, "Mbona ulisema hivyo?" Nikamwambia hata siko tayari kuongea. So tukanyamaziana tena for a whole good year, yeah. Until Feb 2023. That is when tulianza kuongea. Like tulikuwa tunaongea, but not ile ya you people are in touch a lot. We were not that much in touch. Ilikuwa tu ile ya hi, ukoaje, na nile tu umekaa, hebu nimjulie hali baby, because out there you are confessing that you are dating. Unarudi tu kwa akili unajiuliza baby, na date nani? It is crazy, like hapo hivyo nje yenye wana hata akikusimamisha unamwambia no, I have someone, but deep down you know huyu mtu hata amuongei, you are just mko tu.
I was eager to marry in 2022, so I went in December holiday telling my parents that this year 2022 I will be marrying, and so it happened that day that I informed her, nimeambia wazazi tutaoana, like no, it's so soon. So it's later she came to tell me she was in a mission. They were preaching at Eldoret, and then she had that voice. But to me it was like, and I've already told my parents. I've already told my parents that we are going to marry in the year 2022. So the time we were talking, it was the day they had finished their mission on a Sunday. They were to go home on a Monday. And so my phone was almost going off. So immediately my phone went off. So I did not understand what she concluded. But to me, when I just chatted and texted her and told her that my phone is going off, because I knew immediately when the phone is going off, we are at home, there's no power, then maybe we will not be able to talk again that day. So after that day, I was like, you just made a decision to tell your parents. You never consulted me. And like, basi, fanya venye unataka. Like I had prepared her psychologically and like we are going to marry. But I never knew that she did not want to marry so soon after school. Yeah, so then after that, I had to come back in January. Then I went to my pastor. We were talking the things of our ministry with my reverend. And so it's when I told Pastor, like, this year I want to marry, this year I want to go for more studies, and this year I'm building 3 things. And so he told me, these are 3 projects in 1 year. It will be so heavy for you. First, do not marry this year. Pastor told me, so like there's a communication, there's a voice I can now hear, I can listen and understand the meaning of that voice. That surely even God himself is not for this marriage this year. But I could not tell her, I could not tell my pastor, because I did not want her to know that it is confirmed. It is confirmed that we are not going to marry this year. And like, oh, it was so hard for me.
Maybe at a birthday yet you to celebrate.
Oh yeah, we share birthday
the same day.
22nd of July.
Tulikuwa kwa kesha 31st and was telling God, hii mwaka nayo, I just, acha tu ni uni-align to your will. So I was ready for anything. But one thing that God told me is that hii mwaka nayo, you are going to get married. So I was like, hey, so we kuja, in my mind sasa nimemwambia whether we can have a coffee. Akaniambia nitakuchibu. So he showed up that Sunday. I remember it was on 5th, right? 5th of February. Akakuja, we had coffee. Tukaongea. So mimi namsikiza, nataka nisikie. Anasema aje. What is he saying? So he was like, uliniambia.
Before hata nikwambie, it was not only coffee, aliniambia itisha chenye unataka. I remember it was one of the biggest hotels in Machakos. Maybe ikuwe the last treat ama mwanzo mpya, like, we kuja tu. Kuja for coffee. Nikatoka church, it was on a Sunday afternoon. Nikaenda Machakos. I remember one of the hotels there. Akanipeleka, akaniambia itisha nyo. Na mimi nilikuwa njaa. Nikaitisha fish na ugali. And after nimekula, nimeshiba. Ulikula?
No, I didn't. Nilikunywa juice. Yeah. Mimi sasa niko like, huyu hapa na nguvu za kukula kweli.
Yeah, so after hapo ndo akaniuliza, what are you up to? And like, to me, really, like, as I've told you, the previous year was like, hey, mazee unasikia sauti za mabeste zako, like, achana na ye. Wengine, mpe last chance. Like, nilikuwa na feel ni mimi amenikosea. And like, to me also, I had to make a decision as a person, away from my friends, those who are giving me positive response, and them that were giving me negative responses about how I can do it. I had to take my stand. And then when we met, before now we met, I just felt like, no, I need to make up my mind. Days are going, years are going. Like when she asked me, what are you up to? And was like, I have now to make, as much as nimejifanya, mimi ni mwanaume. One thing I've come to learn, wanaume hatushidangi, like,
yeah, there is that kanini, lazima your decision ikue
ndio firm.
Ndio firm and final.
Nikajiambia like, as much as pia nataka naweza endelea kukaa hivyo, but I'm counting on the years are going, time is going, and like there's somewhere I'm losing. Actually, what I told her, like, tukiwa na hizi differences, I am losing as well as you are also losing. And so from that moment and that minute, we made up our mind turudiane na maisha ikuwe poa. As simple as that, turudiane maisha yetu ikuwe poa.
And I remember did we talk about wedding date the same day?
No.
But oh yeah, but we planned on tutakuja kuongelelea.
Yeah, we just said
Just
tutaenda alafu tukuje kuongelea. And from since before nimekuwa nikimuita my love. Actually even today tumesave, mimi nimemsave my love. That's why I call her. So from that moment, my love, umefika kwa nyumba. Sasa tumeachana, tumepiga picha hapo kwa hoteli nje na akanipeleka hapo stage, nikachukua magari, nikapanda, yeye akarudi. Juu alikuwa anaishi Machakos by then. I was like, my love, where are you? Umefika wapi? Like my love ikaanza kufanya kazi hiyo siku tena.
The first thing that we did, we set our wedding date. Then the other dates tulikuwa like hizo zingine zitajialign, but first what we did, we set our wedding date na tarehe ya kwanza ya kwenda kwa wazazi.
We went first at our home place. Yeah, I remember well, it was on a Monday. It was an Easter Monday. I had come from Bomet County for a mission. Then on that Monday we were to go home. So we drove home to Makueni. We met at Machakos Junction because she stayed at Machakos. I had already informed our parents, my parents, that I'm coming with a lady that I want to marry. And then we drove to Makueni. We found our parents there waiting for us. They were so happy, like, hey, our last born has brought her lady.
Yeah.
And like, they were so happy. We went, we were received well by my parents and my other siblings. And so, yeah, they welcomed us.
Acha nifike sauti ipote. Nakumbuka sauti ilipoteanga and I wasn't able to talk sana. So I really felt embarrassed. Kwa in-laws, it's your first time, then sauti hauna, imepotea, so you're just whispering. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she was able to just speak, and I could also tell them more details about her. And then we had some photos there with our parents. After all that, they were so happy, and like, this is a bold step you have taken to start a family, and we want to promise you we are going to support you. That is from my father. And so again, they also now send us to the side of the bride, to the other side of the parents.
So we prepared, we went home.
May. It was
In May. Tukafika nyumbani. They received us very well. We were with a few friends of ours. So we were around five of us. So tumefika nyumbani. Acha baba. So we had one person, alikuwa driver. So me, I don't know why my dad spotted him na akampenda. So my dad akamchukua, akampeleka, akamwonyesha huko kote. Ameacha son-in-law to be kwa nini?
Kwa room.
Kwa room, anaonyesha mtu mwingine where to be, as in everywhere. This is the place and this is the huko ndo huko. Tukamaliza. We tukienda, tukirudi. Nimekasirikiwa kwa gari. Like, I know you felt embarrassed, but it was just funny because it just happened so quickly, and like, okay, tukarudi kwa gari, so I have to, but this is ulikuwa karibu kugive up. What was happening? I had not to talk to him. Relax. So unajua sasa, when you go to the in-laws, lazima tu kuna ako kanini, ka pressure utapigwa na ka character development. So I think that was his portion that day. Yeah,
of course. When we were doing introduction first, his dad spotted me, like, I saw this face somewhere. And so because there was a wedding for his brother, the year 2021, I had attended, and then they had made myself an interpreter. Because it was here in Nairobi, I was so interpreting the preacher who was officiating the wedding. So Daddy was like, I have seen you. But now after that, he just went out with our driver. I'm like, that driver was so important to him because I understood the language that he was trying to pass.
Yeah.
And so they came back inside, and like, the driver is telling me, oh, yeah, you'll sort out the issues that are necessary to be sorted this day, because you cannot go for introduction empty-handed, let me say. And so like, Daddy was like, hii kitu ishakuwa ninyi tunawangoja sasa. But I could not have, by then I had not understood the way we can relate with them.
Yeah.
So like I was embarrassed and like, how can this happen for me being the first day?
Yeah.
Like, I just felt like I wanted to be received well. I just thought
But
that
it was well,
I was
really?
received
You
well.
didn't
Like
expect.
I never expected negative side of it. But Dad accepted. He accepted us
Yeah.
to continue. We have a wonderful mommy that also wished us well,
Yeah.
together with our dad. And so we went back on the car. In the car, I was silent. Like, I just
Thinking
felt
me.
the day was so heavy for me. But when we were going back home, we stopped somewhere. There's a viewpoint in Makueni. Now we had to take photos there. And then the guys were like, relax, mazee, hii kitu ukuaga hivyo.
The planning, we had challenges. It is not like it was that smooth. We wake up, we plan about the rurasho in Kikuyu, but it is the same thing. So we planned. It was on 10th of October, 14th of October. 14th of October. So we started planning it. We would go and secure the place, not the place, the vendors for the decoration, camera people and
Service provider.
sounds, service providers and everything. Challenges ilikuwa tunahitaji pesa. Lakini sasa on the other hand, mimi unajua sifai kumsaidia kulipa rurasho. So mimi na pesa yangu tukae na wewe. My money is my money. Sasa wewe, you do all the best to make sure that ume meet all the requirements or else into the position that you'll be. But it wasn't that much hard for you, isn't it?
Yeah, and for me, like a man I knew, actually I remember telling her that I know what I need to do in our ratio. As a man, I am the one to pay.
Yeah.
But now, there are those other things now we must do together, like now the service providers for deco. Remember, it is their home place.
Yeah.
So they start deco, there is sound and all that. But to the other side of pay the dowry payment, I knew I am the one to do this. I have to carry this burden. And so I want to thank God because he helped me through. And we had to plan. We did an excellent ratio that even I think the people from that place, they say they have never seen another one like that.
Yeah.
And one thing I just said from me is that because I know she has some money from her side, let her do the things that are for her herself alone. And to me, I wanted to give her the best so that she would never complain about how the process was. So she got the best. In fact, all those decisions that she was bringing to me, I was just accepting because I knew they need the best. And I gave her the best. From the other side, I got some help. By the way, I got some help from our parents and our family for some of the things that were needed. And up to that day of Rurasho, I can say it was just, it was.
But it was so amazing. Wow. Like our friends really showed up. They traveled all the way from Machakos to Makueni. For me, I enjoyed myself. I had just the best of it because that is all what I wanted. And I can say kuna kitu yenye the way I didn't do in my Rurasho. Okay, about planning of the wedding, you know now the Rancho was close to the wedding. It was just a month too. So we were planning both of them. We were
Correct.
running like the two platforms for the Nini, for the Rancho and for the wedding. So after pre-wedding, in fact, it wasn't what we did. It was just securing the vendors, paying deposits to the Nini service providers, and making sure that we have everything sorted. But one thing ilikuwa challenge, it was the ground for reception, tulitafuta. But God naye, one thing that I have known is that during his own time he makes things perfect. So we strange tukatafuta. In fact, tulipata ground ya reception. I think it was 2 weeks to the wedding, right? It was very close. So tulikuwa nini, my gown ilikuwa nishapata, nilipata my gown, was it on October? That's when I got my gown. The normal challenge is to, hatuwezi sema there is something new that we met, because one thing that we know ni kuwa hakuna challenge mpya. Hiyo challenge yenye umepitia kuna mtu mwingine ashaipitia. So it was just a normal planning. It wasn't that much pressuring, by the way. That is one thing that we can thank God about, because God gave us grace of the season. And you would meet us kwa barabara, na mimi by the way personally ungejua kama I'm planning for a wedding, because I was very peaceful. Very peaceful. Sijui kama wewe ulikuwa na stress.
Yeah, I can say from my end I could feel some little pressure because of the plan. Because remember, the wedding was on our church, so I had to prepare much of the things from my side. And I thank God because we had people to work with us. We had our accountability partners. We had our best man, the best woman who could work with us when needed. When we call upon them, they were showing up. And so, yeah, the planning was good. I can also say that it had some little challenges because of in agreement of what you want, what I want. Like the cakes, I know.
Hey,
I can remember the cakes. We went to different people. I want this person because I have a taste of him. She wants someone else.
But at least hizo vitu zingine zote niliwin. Keki hapo hivyo na ulinipiga 10-0.
Yeye pia ananipeleka kwa mtu wake juu ako na taste yake, and like, oh, this one can offer a better service than this one. Because also we wanted also to consider the sizes maybe of the cake and the number. And then later we settled. I can see there were some differences, pressure, like also the colors was like, I need this color, But I thank those who stood with us. There is a patron from our church, from our youth, who told me when it comes to things like colors, just leave them to the ladies.
Thank you.
Leave them to the ladies. So I had that in mind, that I don't need to win some of the things. I will have to let go from our side. But I tell you, we had perfect colors because of her. We had good colors, beautiful colors, and I can never regret of them. So up to even the eve of the wedding, up to 2, I think I went to sleep at 2 because we had the practice for the wedding. The maids came, the grooms came, and so we had all those pressures at the last day. Mtu wa kuleta viti ameleta saa 2 na alikuwa amesema ataleta 6. Mpaka ule alikuwa nimempeana aende kwa viti akachoka. Like, ni sawa. Patron akaniambia hata liwe liwalo, harusi iko na utaoa hata kama mambo itakuwa namna gani. So I can say the plan ilikuwa tuna challenge yake kidogo, pressure kidogo, but we managed because tulianza kuipanga mapema.
We woke up it was around 3 with my ladies. We had agreed that we are going to have a devotion that morning. So we woke up, had a devotion for an hour, then we started preparing ourselves. Like in an hour's time I was ready, but I don't know what happened. We ended up like being late for the wedding. But one thing I knew, maybe that kept us, it is because that we were waiting for my parents to come to where I was. But something happened to kwa barabara. They didn't wakafika church, but they hawaku manage kufika to the place mapema. So the day was so amazing, and I wore my gown, and I was like, wow, that is pretty what I really wanted. And but it had a lot of tension. Thank God I didn't cry. It was so emotional. You are like, oh, it is happening. But now ilianza kuni hit that manzo unajua umeolewa saa 10 hapo hivyo after tumetoka photoshoot. Sasa tumeenda reception. Ndio tunakaa niko like kumbe mimi ni bibi ya mwenyewe. So by the transition, sasa hapo hivyo ndo nilianza kufikiria I have gotten married, so I should be now prepared for the transition and everything and the journey of being someone's wife. But God gave us grace. We had a very beautiful and amazing day. Our friends, our families came, our pastors' friends also came, and we enjoyed the day very well.
If I can consider, I can say marriage has been good so far for those 7-8 months. But it has its own challenges. Yeah, I cannot deny that there are no challenges. Like before, when we just married, you know, they start to know each other. Like someone had told me, you think that you know your wife, but you've not known her. Yeah. You've known a little about her. You'll know her when you marry. And that's exactly what happened. Like, and all that happens, like, there are some, I had to understand her to some level that I never understood her. Naweza sema, tulikuwa na premarital counseling zenye zilitusaidia because tuliambiwa zile vitu mnadhani kubwa ati mnaenda kupitana, sio hizo, ni vitu tudogo. Na mtu mmoja akasema, kwa nini hii kitu imewekwa hapa na mimi nikakuja nikaiweka hapa? Akaniambia, mnaweza kosania wife kutoa hapa kurudisha hapa. Unamuuliza kwa nini mimi ninaiweka hapa, naitoa hapa naiweka hapa, na yeye anaitoa hapa anaiweka hapa. Like unadhania ni kitu kubwa yenye inafanya mkosane, but kitu kadogo tu ndo kanaweza fanya mkosane. Na for sure hizo vitu kidogo nimeona like tunaweza disagree. And after umekaa hivi ukafikiria ukapata ni nini shida tulikuwa tunapitania ati kutoa hiki kikombe hapa kuweka hapa, like unapata tu ni kitu kadogo. But naweza sema imekuwa a journey that is so lovely. Yeah, hizo miezi 7, miezi 8, I can say I have felt I'm complete with her. Like kuna vitu nisingefanya peke yangu. Nimefeel yeye ni responsibility yangu na ameni challenge kwenye sikuwa anaona napaswa kufanya hivi.
We live more of friends than a husband and wife. Like tufanye hivi, hata niambia wewe ndo bibi enda ufanye hivyo, no. We agree we are doing this, tunachangamka. Tunafanya sisi wote. If it is cooking, tunachangamka sisi wote. Hakuna wewe ndo bibi sasa wewe enda upike, hapana. We do it together, tunamaliza, we eat together, tunalala. So is just that gentleman. Me, I would say that every woman would want to have, for real, because the positive sides overrule the negative. Unajua hizo, there is we say that there is no man who is perfect, no person is perfect. But when we weigh about the two sides, the positive sides really reign. Yeah.